Ash Ketchum has one Mega Evolution, being his Mega Lucario, but he could have many more, and with the release of Pokemon Legends ZA, that number has only gone up. But which of these Mega Evolutions are the best? Today we'll be ranking every potential Mega Evolution Ash Ketchum could own. Hey Pokemon Champions, I'm Champion Blaze and welcome to the Sacred Legends Podcast, your #1 place to chill and unwind with the Pokemon anime. And in today's podcast episode, we will be ranking all of Ash Ketchum's potential Mega Evolutions. He has so many, from the OG starters of Charizard, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, which means he could potentially have Mega Blastoise, Mega Venusaur, and Mega Charizard X or Y, but with the release of Legends ZA, that number of Mega Evolutions he could own has only gone up by a lot more. There are 20 plus Mega Evolutions Ash Ketchum could own. So, let's rank all of these Pokemon in a tier list. Alright, so I have all of Ash Ketchum's potential Mega Evolutions pulled up on this tier list, and if I'm missing any, do let me know in the comments, but I do believe I have not missed any. There are about 23 Mega Evolutions that he could own, so let's begin ranking them from rank F all the way to S tier, being the absolute best God tier designs, with F of course being flat out garbage, flat out trash, and I hate this Mega Evolution design. But of course we're going to start with, and this is just the order in which I saved and thought of all these Pokemon, we're going to start with the newly released Mega Garchomp Z, and honestly, it might be recency bias, but I have got to rank this thing in A tier. This is so good. This is a beautiful Mega design, much better than regular Mega Garchomp in my opinion. I think it's more sleek. I think the size on the hands work a lot better. And I think it just plays into Garchomp's natural physique. With the original Mega Garchomp, it feels like maybe it changed a bit too much, that maybe it's not more of a cohesive design. I do like Mega Garchomp, don't get me wrong, and we will rank that. But I don't know, there's just something about Mega Garchomp Z that they really nailed, that they really landed this time around. And I think it's a big improvement. I think, when it comes to Mega Garchomp Z, the patterns on its body, I don't know, it just works more. It just works a lot better. So I'm going to put it A tier for now. I don't want to give it S tier because I feel like that would be recency bias. I want time to attach to Mega Garchomp Z. I want time to look at this design a lot more. Again, we've only had it for a short period. I have yet to use it in the games, actually, so I don't have any bias coming from the games on that end, but just strictly design. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one, and it is going in A tier, probably going to stay high A tier nonetheless. But with that being said, let's rank Mega Garchomp, the original version. And of course, I have always thought that this was an A tier design. It's super good, makes Garchomp much more menacing, much more ferocious and draconic, and really plays into those dragon aspects. Of course, the hands turned into scythes, just like with Mega Garchomp Z, but it is, of course, not as good. Oh, no, not there. Not as good as Mega Garchomp Z in my opinion. I think they knocked it out of the park on this one. So we are going to put Mega Garchomp original version right behind Mega Garchomp Z for now. We will see if this placement switches in the future, and to see just how far up the A tier Mega Garchomp can stay. Now let's continue with Mega Feraligatr, one of the newest additions in Pokemon Legends ZA. And oh, Feraligatr, I want to love this Pokemon. I really do. I want to love it. I like it. And I think it's really genius how Mega Feraligatr looks like a giant Totodile when it clamps down in its battle animation. But the thing is, if your Mega design only looks good in a battle animation, is your Mega good at all? And that's the issue I have with Mega Feraligatr. Like, it looks great, it's got the dragon typing now attached to it, which we were all hoping for, and I think that's great. But purely with its design, and again, I haven't used Mega Feraligatr. I chose Tepig for Legends EA. It's just that Mega Feraligatr, I feel could have been a bit more. I feel like there's better fan art of Mega Feraligatr that we've received in the last year and a half or so. And while Mega Feraligatr does deliver on that a little bit, it's the attachment on top of its head. Again, great. Looks great when it's animated. But your Mega can't look good only when it's animated. And I would love for Ash to use something like this. But honestly, I'd rather just have Ash use a Dynamax Totodile at this point. But, you know, I do really, really like Mega Feraligatr. I'm glad that we have it. I'm glad it exists. But it just could have been a bit better, and I wish it didn't look only good when it's battling. So I'm gonna put it B tier. I'm gonna put it B tier. B tier is where it lands for me. Again, if the design looked better outside of the battle animation, I think it would have landed in A tier, but I'm gonna give it B tier. I don't think it needs C tier. I don't think it's that bad, but again, it could be a little better. Could be a little better. I think they added just enough, but again, if it doesn't have the battle animation and you've never seen the battle animation, then you wouldn't know that it can do that. That it looks like a giant Totodile. It's genius, but again, if I'm not battling with it and I'm just walking around, it looks a little goofy. A little goofy, I ain't gonna lie. But let's get to one Mega that's really, really cool. And that is Mega Lucario Z. Oh my goodness. Mega Evolution Z forms felt like a fanfic, kind of like a dream that we would maybe one day get, but they're here, and we have a couple Z forms, and I think they really nailed it. I feel like Mega Lucario Z has more inspiration and more put into its design than the speak your words. Speak your words. Mega Lucario Z, the regular version, I think that something about Mega Lucario Z just feels more inspired. It's definitely giving more Egyptian vibes, falling into that Anubis and Jackal inspiration, and I love that. I think it's great. And honestly, I think it's an A tier design. I don't want to go high A tier for it just yet, because I think Mega Garchomp Z is better. But again, I'm going to keep it out of S tier, because I haven't used it yet. I'm going to keep it out of S tier. Also, I want to avoid recency bias, and on top of it, this does not get a new typing. Mega Lucario Z does not get a new typing upon Mega evolving into this new form. And I believe Mega Garchomp Z also keeps the same typing, but they should get new typing. Something a little different, I think. But I'm going to put Mega Lucario Z above regular Mega Garchomp. I just think, oh, they really nailed the design on this. It's so clean. Oh, it's so clean. And if Ash ever came out using this, woo, he would cause some damage. But with that said, let's rank original Mega Lucario, which, but I ain't even gotta say that. I ain't gotta say, you know where this is going. This is going right into S tier. Right into S tier. And it's not the bias of Pokemon Journeys, because Mega Lucario, Ash's Mega Lucario is a whole different story. But design alone, seeing Karina's Lucario, her Mega Lucario in the Pokemon XY anime is what really solidified it for me. It's essentially a Naruto-coded Mega Evolution using that Aura Sphere as like Rasengan, and it's absolutely just it's a great Mega. I know it's a based pick. I know it's kind of like basic, honestly, but you can't. Mega Lucario is like the standard of a Mega Evolution. You know, it's what defines what a Mega should be, in my opinion. It sets the bar. It's one of the first Pokemon we ever get to see Mega evolved. It's got that statue in the Tower of Mastery in Shrillor City, and between the edgy black and red, the yellow fur that becomes accentuated throughout its body, and the ninja mask that it continues to wear, I think Mega Lucario is a beautiful design, beautiful representation of what a Mega is. You know, a Mega Evolution shouldn't just be that it's more of this Pokemon. A lot of the Mega Evolutions are just it's this Pokemon, but more. Great and excellent Mega Evolutions are more of the Pokemon, but more of their inspiration. And or they just drastically change the Pokemon from its base form, and that's what Mega Lucario does here, and that's why I love it so much. The same reason I love Mega Lucario Z is because it leans more into Lucario's original inspirations, but in a different avenue. And that's why I really like Mega Lucario Z. That is why other Mega Evolutions, like, say, Mega Charizard X, are among the greatest Mega Evolutions because of how drastically they changed the design. You know, I don't simply want to see more of the Pokemon. That's what a regular evolution is for. That's, you know, we go from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to a finalized form. A Mega Evolution should follow that, you know, kind of that same thing, you know, turning it into almost a new Pokemon, essentially. It should look substantially different to warrant, like, hey, this is the Mega form. This is what it looks like. This is how different it is. So I want incentive to Mega Evolve the Pokemon to get this brand new form, this brand new glow up, in my opinion. And that's what Mega Lucario does. The original version is so damn good, and there are not many that can top it. Aside from a few. But let's continue. Let's see if any of the Ash Ketchum Mega Evolutions can top Mega Lucario. Let's see. Let's continue with Mega Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar is like the embodiment of a Pokemon that is Mega Evolved, and it's just more of this Pokemon. I feel like in the days of X and Y, and even Auras a little bit, but definitely X and Y, when they were designing all the Megas, the number one thought had to have been, add more spikes. Add more spikes. Add more spikes. I think that was the main thought they had for so many of the Mega Evolutions during the XY period, because Mega Tyranitar, yes, does undergo a drastic change for the most part, but the drastic change is more spikes, and yes, it's a spiky Pokemon to begin with, so I guess it falls in line with the design traits of the Pokemon already, but I don't want the Pokemon to just be more spikes. But I can't lie, it's so damn cool. And the reason Tyranitar is here is because of that Larvitar that Ash took care of in the Johto Saga. What if he kept it? What if he kept it? You know, what if he kept it, evolved it, raised it, and now he's got a Tyranitar? So that's why this Pokemon is here, because he could potentially have had a Tyranitar. He could have a Mega Tyranitar if he had evolved it and kept it. With that said, Mega Tyranitar has always actually been one of the cooler ones in my opinion, and it's gonna go right into A tier. Nope, A tier. And I think it's better than Mega Garchomp in my opinion. I think it's better than the original Mega Garchomp. Again, Mega Garchomp Z is holding down first place in A tier. We'll see for how long though. But let's continue with Mega Meganium. Mega Meganium. Let me get a drink real quick. That's good. We're not drinking tea today. I've got a smoothie this time around. I'm drinking Bolt House Farm strawberry smoothie, and this, right? It's good stuff. Good stuff. My goodness. There's no tea today. I'm switching it up. We got a smoothie this time around. But let's talk about Mega Meganium. They got the fairy type. Got the fairy type at least. Just what? Why? First off, it's got these little like grassy patches on its feet for some reason. Maybe they were thinking it would make it look more ferocious, I guess, like it came from the forest. But I've seen there's a meme where it's like I got neck pillows or something. Maybe it was in a video. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen. But the it's like it's got neck pillows. It's got big flowers around its neck, and I know they're stemming from the design that Meganium had a flower around its neck, but is that really what we want to do with the design? Is that really what we want to lean into? Just give Meganium more flowers. Is that what we call a mega? Is that really what we call a mega? Just gonna give it more flowers. Like, and on top of it, what really gets me is that they gave it the pose, it's just from the side, it doesn't. I wish, maybe it's the pose that Mega Meganium is in, maybe it's the pose. It doesn't look dynamic enough. It doesn't, I don't know, like, and then Mega Tyranitar's kind of got the same pose. Maybe it's Meganium's face. That sounds messed up. That sounds messed up, actually. Let me refrain from saying that. It's not Meganium's face. Because I love Meganium. I love Meganium. It's always been my go-to Johto starter. It's the first one I've ever used. It's the Johto starter I've used the most. And I love Meganium. I do like Mega Meganium, and I'm glad it's got the fairy type. I don't know. I just feel something more could have been done, besides just giving it a whole ton of flowers on its neck. But with that said, it's going to go in B tier. I still like it, so it's going to go in B tier. Mega Feraligatr is better, so that's what we're going to do. It's going to go in B tier. And next up is Mega Gengar. So with Mega Gengar, this is definitely an A tier Pokemon. I've always thought Mega Gengar was so cool. I've come to love Gengar in recent years, and definitely with Pokemon Journeys, it's grown on me more. But Mega Gengar, actually, I didn't care for too much when it got first revealed. But when you look at it more, it really leans into that dark spirit energy, like that dark aura, that ghostly, frightful nature that Gengar does have. And regular Gengar feels more silly and kind of spooky. But Mega Gengar fully leans into that devious, mischievous, sinister, dark aura that a ghost type can have. And I really like that here. The red, like dark magic accents that it has, and, the symbol on its forehead. I really do think Mega Gengar is a prime example of what a Mega should be. It really amplifies not the physical characteristics of Gengar, because it changes just enough, in my opinion. What it amplifies from base Gengar is the nature of Gengar, its personality, its characteristics. It represents the type that it has very well. And for a ghost poison type, for a ghost Mega specifically, I think Mega Gengar is a great representative of this. So, with that said, I think Mega Gengar is going to go above Mega Garchomp Z. I think Mega Gengar, on top of seeing it in Pokken, this thing is a nightmare, and that's another reason I love to use it. So, Mega Gengar, I think, gets the top of A tier right now. And now we're going to get to Mega Blastoise, which, A tier Pokemon. And it's going to go above Mega Garchomp Z. No, above Mega Garchomp Z. There we go. Dude, this thing turns into a tank. When I first saw it, I loved it. My Pokemon is a tank. It's already got cannons and 2 little blaster guns on its wrist. Do you see this thing? It is a tank. A tank. It is a perfect example of Mega Blastoise is just more Blastoise, but it's cool. It's so cool. And yes, I nagged on Tyranitar a little bit for being just, oh, it's more Tyranitar. It's got more spikes. Spikes is the design, basically. Cannons is Blastoise's design. But it's a tank. Let me reiterate that. It is a tank. I just personally think that's cool. That's all the reason I need to put it second place in A tier. That is all the reason I need. For Mega Charizard Y, which is our next Pokemon that we're looking at, Mega Charizard Y is going to go... I want to put it in A tier because I really do like it. This is another example of cool, but it's just more of the Pokemon. But I think the design changes just enough to give it more of that dragon vibe that Charizard already had. And that's what I really like here. So I think for Mega Charizard Y, we are going to put this guy above Mega Garchomp Z, and above... Alright, you know, I'm just gonna put it. It's gonna go... Hello? Thank you. It was not moving. Uh, yeah, I've always had a soft spot for, you know, I love Charizard. And I've always loved the two Mega Charizard forms. But speaking of Charizard, Charizard X, on the other hand, we all know where this is going. We all know where it's going. Top of S tier. Top of S tier. Top of S tier. Can it go anywhere else? Guys, be honest. Can it go anywhere else? No. No, it can't. Do you see this design? Black and blue, blue flames, gains the dragon type. It is like Azula as a Pokemon. Like, regular Mega Charizard Y is Zuko, and then there's the blue flame version, which is Azula, and that's how I've always seen these two Pokemon. And it is just... It is so amazing that they were able to cook up such an amazing design for Mega Charizard X. Just what more can I say? Look at the thing. Look at it. It's so clean, so powerful in its design. Like, this is the type of drastic change that Mega Lucario has, and that really defines what a Mega should be. Like, it's not just more Charizard. It's not just give it spikes. They changed the color scheme, they added blue flames, they changed the entire design, they changed the wings, they changed the shape, they gave it some spikes, but they did so much to really make this Mega stand out. And of course, you know, if Ash were to own this Pokemon, you know, he can have a Mega Charizard X like Alan, but the XYZ anime is why I love Mega Charizard X so much. But just going off design alone, even without the anime, it's an amazing design. And I think it's absolutely stunning. It is a fire design, pun intended. But let's continue. Let's go to... Oh, we're talking about, what, Mega Heracross? Oh my goodness. Oh, Mega Heracross, Mega Heracross. I think I have the first C tier or lower Pokemon, to be honest with you. It's just... Its wrists and like forearms get bloated. Like, I like it. It's okay, but I've never been a big fan of it. I've never gone, oh, I want to use Mega Heracross. You know, I didn't use the Heracross in Legend ZA. I didn't use him mainly because I wanted to use Kalos Pokemon or new Pokemon. Pokemon I haven't used in Kalos before. But Mega Heracross, the horn in the middle, the horn and then the bulky like wrists and forearms just throws me off. It does change pretty significantly, I might add, but it changes in an awkward way. Like, I would rather just use base form Heracross in terms of design. I do like it. Like, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Mega Heracross, like, it's C tier for me. It's C tier for me. And it don't get no better. It does not get any better because we're talking about Mega Glalie next. And Mega Glalie, D tier. I do kind of like it. Like, Mega Glalie excited me when it first came out. And it's still kind of cool. It's still kind of cool. But it's D tier. Let me explain why it's D tier after I get a sip of my smoothie. Now, why is it in D tier? Why is it in D tier? Mega Evolution breaks its jaw. Let me repeat that for you. Mega Evolution breaks Glalie's jaw. Need I say more? No, I do not. But I will. There's so many Pokedex entries that speak about how Mega Evolution is this, like, painful, awful process that we put our Pokemon through, that their body is in immense pain, that parts of their body break, that they lose a part of themselves or something along those lines. And Mega Glalie exemplifies that. Look at the design. You can see it. You can see its broken jaw. Why on earth would I want to use a Pokemon like that? I don't feel comfortable Mega Evolving my Glalie. I don't want to break its jaw. And I couldn't see Ash using this Pokemon. It's just, if I were a trainer, and I found out that the Pokedex said, oh, Mega Evolution causes Glalie jaw to break. How do you eat like that? How do you battle like that? Just, no. No. So simply for that fact, and for the design being quite unsettling, if I'm being honest with you, Mega Glalie is D tier. But now, let's move on to some amazing Mega Evolutions, because we got Mega Emboar. If Ash evolved Tepig all the way to Emboar, this is where the design ends up. All the way... No, hold on, what are we doing? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Take it. There we go. S tier. S tier. I don't know who's going to be mad at this. I don't know who's going to be screaming that this is a great choice. Mega Emboar, for all the Emboar fans, is S tier. I don't care. I know Emboar gets a lot of flack for being a third firefighting starter Pokemon, the third generation in a row. But See, I wanted to say something else. I was going to say Genghis Khan, because that's partly where Emboar gets its inspiration from, and I was going to say Mega Kangaskhan. Speak your words. Speak your words. Mega Emboar, they cooked with that. First off, the Flame Spear, the Flame Scepter. The Mega Emboar has like a emperor status, like a godly status almost. And it is so cool. It is like royalty. It is based off of Chinese royalty, like like powerful figures like Genghis Khan, as I stated. But they really lean into that. Mega Emboar, I think, gains a foot of height when it Mega evolves, and on top of it gets the Flame Scepter, like I talked about. It's got like this coat of fire around its chest and head. It's got a new hair design. The symbols on its body, I believe, change a little bit. It's just all around powerful and strong, and this thing, like, battles hard. It was my starter choice, as I stated previously in the podcast, that I chose it for Legend ZA. This thing is a tank. It hits hard, takes a good amount of hits, and it is just an amazing, amazing Pokemon. I absolutely love Mega Emboar. I think they really cooked on this design, so it gets S tier. Next, let's move on to another fantastic Mega, and that's going to be Mega Hawlucha. You already know where it's going. You already know where it's going. You already know where it's going. It's going right into S tier, and better than Mega Lucario. Better than Mega Lucario. Just look how clean the design is. It's buff, it's beefy, and just look at the pose, too. The pose is so, like, victorious, it's glorious, it's giving that luchador vibe even more so. It's giving that Rey Mysterio vibe. The gold accents and just the strong presence that it exudes, they cooked with Mega Hawlucha. I remember the reveal trailer for it, like how they showed it off and revealed it to us for the first time, and I lost my cool when it came on screen. I was so excited, probably the most excited I've ever been for a Mega Evolution, to be quite honest with you. And with it being one of my favorite Kalos Pokemon, if not my favorite, right behind Greninja maybe, this thing, oh, this design cooks. I don't think they could have done a better job, to be honest with you. It's a good representation of how clean the Mega designs from Legend ZA really are. Because a lot of them don't miss. And they're highly inspired, really cool. Some might be goofy, but they have a purpose for that. And I think all around, the Legend ZA Megas that we got, this batch of Megas, does not miss. And Mega Hawlucha is a prime example of that. So it definitely goes into S tier. It does not beat the fire-breathing dragon just yet. But although I did use it in Legend ZA, I used it alongside Mega Emboar. So yes, I did have two fighting types. But I knew going into the game I wanted to use Hawlucha and Emboar. So I added them both to the team. My Hawlucha was named Keizo after Akaza's instructor from Demon Slayer, and my Emboar was named Kyojuro after, of course, Rengoku from Demon Slayer. The team was entirely Demon Slayer coded. Boy, oh boy, Mega Hawlucha, insane, insane design. S tier, for sure. They cooked, they did not miss with it. But let's go now to Mega Dragonite. Mega Dragonite. I do like it. I like the angelic pose that it strikes when it does Mega Evolve. Its boss battle in Legends ZA was insanely crazy. Like, insanely crazy. They let Mega Dragonite fly off the battlefield and just launch an attack at you, so you can't even hit it. You just gotta hope that you don't get hit by the attack. I do like the angel wings that it has. I'm not sure why they're on the head. I do like that it regains a bit of the traits from Dragonair. And maybe that's why they're on the head, actually. But I don't know. This is one of those megas where it doesn't change enough, in my opinion. And I like it, because I like Dragonite. But when it comes to Mega Dragonite, it's gonna... it's gonna... Ooh. Yeah, it's C tier for me, to be honest. I was excited when Mega Dragonite got revealed in the ZA trailer, but that's because we were all clamoring for Mega Dragonite. We all wanted to see Mega Dragonite because the first 4 generations were the ones that had Megas for all their pseudos. Mega Salamence, Mega Metagross, Mega Garchomp, and Mega Tyranitar, but we didn't have Mega Dragonite. So we all wanted to see Mega Dragonite. And then when we got it, yes, I was excited, but then, you let it sit, you think about it, you look at the design more, and Mega Dragonite just doesn't excite me the way the others do. It's not a whole genius design like Mega Feraligatr is, and it's just more Dragonite, a little bit. There's so much fan art, and I'm gonna try and put 2 on the screen if I can. There is so much Mega Dragonite fan art that clears this design and knocks it out of the water. I do like it more than Mega Heracross, I'll say that. But, I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with Mega Dragonite. Mega Pidgeot, on the other hand. It is just more Pidgeot. But Bird Jesus looks clean. So it's the top of B tier for me. I've always had a fondness for Pidgeot and Mega Pidgeot. I think the blue accents really do it. The hair getting longer really does it for me. And the pose of it striking and flying down like it's going for prey, I think really, really helps with the design, in my opinion. So I think that's what gives Mega Pidgeot the edge over Feraligatr and Meganium, but not enough to put it in A tier. Not quite enough to put it in A tier, in my opinion. Mega Sceptile, on the other hand. That's a different story. So, let's talk about Mega Sceptile, because this bad boy... Ooh, it is going in A tier. Where do I put it, though? Where do I put it? Where do I put it? Above Mega Emboar? I don't know, it might be the recency bias if I don't do that. Above Mega Lucario? I did use it in a Mega Ruby. I did use Mega Sceptile in that playthrough, which I think admittedly I did not finish. But let's... Ooh, I don't know where I want to put it. Let's see. Mega Sceptile, Mega Emboar, I don't like Mega Sceptile more than Mega Hawlucha, though, actually. I think Mega Hawlucha is way too cool, and it's not the recency bias on that, actually. Above Mega Emboar, but not above Mega Lucario. This is really tough, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Oh, my gut is saying to put it above Mega Lucario, though. No, not there. Okay, alright, this is my final choice. Better than Mega Emboar, but not better than Mega Lucario. I'm gonna stand by that. I think I'm comfortable, and I think I like this choice. Mega Sceptile is not just more Sceptile. I think it accentuates and exemplifies all of its forest traits very well. Literally has a tree on its tail. They call it the Christmas tree Pokemon. it can blast its tail off, which is freaking amazing. And it gets like this green cross on its chest. It gets this like a leaf mask. I think Mega Sceptile changes phenomenally well. It gains the dragon type, actually, which gives it a bigger edge. And I think it's just phenomenal. I think all of the Mega starters from Hoenn absolutely clear. They're just peak designs. And Mega Sceptile is a perfect example of that. It is a perfect example of a Mega that changes not just the design and say, hey, it's more of this Pokemon. It changes it so much that this Pokemon like takes on a new identity almost, that it steps into this new powered up form. Like it's got significant change to it. And I love Mega Sceptile for that. And then we get Mega Scrafty. I don't like Scrafty to begin with. This is going to be the only F tier Pokemon on the list. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to all the Scrafty fans. It's F tier. It's F tier. It's just got white clothes. That's it. It's got white clothes on. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm missing about the Scrafty design and the Mega Scrafty design. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe there's a piece of inspiration that I lack knowledge about. But based on the design, and based on Mega Scrafty, I know it's a hoodlum, I know it's meant to be like a street thug, and it's from the streets of New York, and it's got its pants hanging down, and it pulls it up, and it's got a hood, and it can put its hood over. Literally the only thing that changes with Mega Scrafty is it turns white. It's got white clothes. Why do I care? I don't care, is the thing, as you can see, because it's an F tier. So this guy sitting right here in F tier is where it's going to stay. I just don't think they did enough with Mega Scrafty. I feel like they, again, I don't know, maybe I'm missing what the inspiration is, but for me, Mega Scrafty is F tier. But you want to know what's not F tier? Mega Staraptor. Because Mega Staraptor, oh my goodness, I remember when I made a video talking about Pokemon that needed Mega Evolutions in, I believe, the Diamond and Pearl remakes, or Pokemon that just needed new Mega Evolutions years ago. If I can find the thumbnail, I'll put it on screen. But I know I've talked about Mega Staraptor on the channel before, since like the days of Sword and Shield, I think. And just so many years later, we finally now have Mega Staraptor. This thing is scary. This design is peak, and it's going in S tier. There is no other appropriate choice. It is going in S tier, and it's above Mega Lucario. I feel 100% confident and comfortable putting it above Mega Lucario. Do you see this design? This is literally a bird of prey. It is the predator Pokemon exemplified. This is an example, and it gains the fighting type. To give stab close combat. That thing is a menace. And it's an example of exemplifying its traits, its battling style, its design. It leans into everything. And we get this S tier Mega. They cooked with this one. Prime example of how the Legends ZA Megas, this batch, is without a doubt the best batch of Megas we've ever gotten. Oh my goodness. Mega Staraptor, is it better than Mega Charizard? I'm not being a Gen 1er, I swear. I'm not being a Gen 1er. But Mega Charizard X is just way too cool. It's just way too cool. Mega Hawlucha, is it I'm going to keep Mega Hawlucha above Mega Staraptor simply for the fact I haven't used Mega Staraptor yet. Once I do, maybe that might change. But for now, Mega Hawlucha is going to stay in second place. Lucario, purely based off design. Lucario, I don't want to consider the anime because we're not ever going to see Mega Staraptor in the anime, so I'm trying to just go off of design with all of these guys. But, yeah, Mega Staraptor is going to be third for me. It's going to be third for me. Mega Venusaur. Always been A tier for me. Always been A tier. And I think it's going to go above Mega Tyranitar and Mega Garchomp, but not above the Z Megas. Not above the Z Megas. I do like it. It literally is just more Venusaur, like more Blastoise and more Charizard Y. But it's great. I think it does the job. I think it does what it needs to do. And I think the plants and the foliage on Venusaur change enough to make Venusaur's form effectively stand out more than Blastoise and Charizard. But again, you gotta compare it to like everything else that's there. And I think Mega Venusaur is better than Tyranitar and Garchomp in my opinion. No, do I want to? No, do I want to? Do I want to keep it like that? Do I want to? Um, no, you don't. No, let me not. Okay, bottom of A tier. Bottom of A tier. Should it be B tier? No, I like Venusaur way too much. No, it does a better job than Mega Meganium, that's for sure. But we're gonna do bottom of A tier. The two pseudos that supersede it, I think, are gonna stay in their respective positions, and the last one, Mega Greninja. We have finally gotten it. If Ash ever returned, maybe he's gonna rock Mega Greninja since the anime wants us to forget about Ash Greninja. Of course, y'all know where this is going. Y'all know where the boy is going. Y'all know where Koga is going. Koga is going above. Ooh. Okay, actually, there's a little bit of a dilemma here, guys. Little bit of a dilemma. Above Mega Lucario, I haven't had the chance to use Mega Greninja yet. I actually haven't used any of the Kalos starter Megas yet. I used Greninja in my playthrough. What did I name my Greninja? I believe I named it Giyu, after the water Hashira. I think the design would hit more if Greninja wasn't upside down in its official art. But, nonetheless, I think that Mega Greninja is above Mega Lucario. Better than Mega Emboar, better than Mega Sceptile, and better than Mega Lucario. And the reason I'm going to go with this, no, hold on. Zach, my friend Zach, he might have some things to say about this. Not better than Mega Lucario. I do love the color scheme change. I love the subtle changes in Mega Greninja's design. I think what holds it back, though, is... And again, I know this is the ninja aesthetic. I know this is a prime, classic, iconic ninja element where the ninja is upside down when it's doing espionage or tracking somebody or in stealth mode. But for official Pokemon art, Greninja did not need to be upside down. It is the only Pokemon in existence that I can think of where their artwork is upside down. And I don't think that was necessary. I think they could have shown it off in a more dynamic pose, putting it upright, holding the shuriken instead. I think it should have been holding the shuriken rather than being held upside down from it. And I think that's what kind of holds back the design when you look at the official art. Although, when you put it right side up, and it looks like this, I think the design's really good. I love the black. It leans into its shiny coloration, essentially. They changed it. It didn't need to change drastically. It needed to change just enough. And sometimes when you change a Pokemon's design just enough for its Mega, that is what makes it stand out. And I think they did a great job with Mega Greninja. But it's just not enough to beat out the four that are above it. And I think that's the ranking. I think, again, let me know if I missed any of Ash's Pokemon, but there is one Mega that we do need to talk about, and that is Mega Lucario, because Mega Lucario is the focus and central theme of today's Twin Leaf Journal. So, in today's segment of Twin Leaf Journal, let's discuss Mega Lucario, Ash's Mega Lucario, and how it was handled in the anime, and what I think about that. But what is sparking this discussion this time around? What's sparking this discussion is a tweet I came across just looking up Ash's Mega Evolved Pokemon, one, for this podcast, but two, I was interested to see what people were saying about Mega Lucario, and I came across this tweet from the Leaf Blader 497, who had said, "So many of you wanted to So many of you wanted Ash to have a Lucario for years. That's a valid statement, we did. And by extension, it's Mega Evolution. Of course we wanted him to have that. But he asked, now that it's finally happened, are you satisfied with how it was handled? That is the main central question. Then I want to showcase a tweet from PokeFurlax, who says, in quotations, Ash's Lucario versus Cynthia's Garchomp had an excellent / well-written narrative. He goes on to say, the well-written narrative in question, they're both from Sinnoh, they're both hatched from eggs, just like in every Pokemon in the world, just like every Pokemon in the world is hatched from an egg. They never even met before, didn't even both Mega Evolve, only one Mega Evolved. So, with that being said, what is my opinion on Mega Lucario? Was it handled properly? Was it mishandled, mistreated? Was it underdeveloped, overdeveloped, overfocused on, not given enough attention? We all know the answers to these questions, and it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that we're gonna get into. Damn, that's a good smoothie. So the thing is, when we talk about Ash's Mega Lucario, 1. Did he deserve it? 2. How was it written? 3. What did it do for the story and the narrative of Pokemon Journeys? And 4. What is the overall reception? Well, we are introduced to Riolu when it was an egg, and Ash had a strong aura and aura connection to the egg, and that's totally fine. I think the way that Riolu was introduced was a great way to get us warmed up to the idea that Ash was going to get a Lucario, that Ash was eventually going to get Mega Lucario. So I think it started off really well, but here's the problem with that. The problem with that is that that is Pokemon Journeys in a nutshell. It started off fine and had promise and had potential, but the series itself did not deliver on that. And what do I mean by that? Well, firstly, when Riolu is introduced, he immediately takes all the spotlight from the rest of Ash's Pokemon. I'm talking about so much forced focus that you forget Gengar's there, you forget Dragonite's there, and it also led to the ridiculously stupid filler episode where Pikachu gets jealous of Ash and Riolu because Ash is super training Riolu. You know, only using Farfetch'd for training with Riolu instead of, you know, bonding with Farfetch'd more, you know. And not to say that sparring with his Pokemon is bad, because it's not by any means. He does that in every series. It's just that there was so much extra focus on Ash's Riolu that it outshined the rest of the team, that you forget his other team members are there. It basically became the Ash and Riolu show. And Pikachu, okay, fine, maybe your jealousy can be justified, whatever, but it's just so stupid because for 25 plus years, Pikachu has been with Ash. Why would it get jealous of a brand new Riolu? And okay, maybe you can make the argument, you know, oh, this is how, you know, older siblings feel when they get a new baby brother or a new baby sister, and all of a sudden the parents are taking care of that child more, and then that sibling gets a little jealous. You can make that argument, but again, Pikachu, its relationship with Ash should not be questioned. We should not have had that stupid filler episode of Pikachu running away, Mr. Mime going after Pikachu, Delia needing to sing Pikachu to sleep, and, you know, having to rectify the relationship. That should not have happened. That was a weak story point and a weak plot point that I think kind of hurt the overall flow of writing the story for Ash and Lucario. And again, Riolu had a lot of promise, but I feel as though once it evolved into Lucario, the well-written development and the well-written execution that I think Riolu did have in Season 1 of Pokemon Journeys kind of just goes out the window. And I feel that they forgot how to write a good Pokemon because, oh, now it's fully evolved, we got to the Lucario, I feel like they thought to themselves that they're not gonna care what we do with Lucario on screen, and that's not the case. Just because a Pokemon reaches its final evolved form and its final state does not mean we no longer care about the development of this Pokemon. Riolu evolved into Lucario at the end of Season 1 of Pokemon Journeys. We still have 2 seasons left with this Pokemon at minimum, because Pokemon was on a 3-year time cycle, at least for the anime and for its games. And we do care about Lucario. Just because it's fully evolved does not mean you get to neglect its its training, its character arc, its growth, its development, its passion, and its outcomes, and its plot progression. You don't get to ignore those things just because now it's fully evolved and you've done all the build-up from when it was a Lucario, from when it was a Riolu, excuse me. You don't do that. That's just bad writing. That's lazy writing. So for the first time as a Pokemon fan, I would defend people if they said that the anime staff writers were being a bit lazy with the writing. Because it does feel like laziness from the part of the anime writers, but it's also just poor writing. You know, maybe they weren't being lazy, maybe they just suffered from poor writing. Again, there are back-end issues. There are back-end issues that were plaguing Pokemon journeys, you know, from the time of the pandemic and throughout in almost the entirety of the show. And, you know, even before the pandemic, they were just writing very, very poorly. And the reason for this is because they ended up using Lucario as a marketing tool. They stopped viewing Lucario as a Pokemon, as a character, as a figure in the story, and viewed it as a marketing tool to push Mega Evolution, to push buying the plushies, buying the cards, using Lucario in the games. They used it as a marketing tool. And honestly, you can see this in a lot of different situations with Pokemon journeys where marketing was more important than the story and the content they were pushing out. And that's what really harmed Pokemon journeys, in my opinion, is that they stopped caring. I feel they stopped caring. Yes, they stuck the landing when they needed to. They delivered when they needed to, but only when they needed to. You know, it wasn't consistent. It wasn't like watching X and Y or Diamond and Pearl where things felt consistent. You know, writing felt consistent, battles felt consistent, character growth felt consistent. Nothing was, you know, thrown to the wayside. And by that I mean, you know, there wasn't really anything that they just flat out didn't care about. You know, if something kind of got forgotten about in favor of progressing something else even further and elevating a different aspect, that's different. Pokemon Journeys had so many things that just fell off to the wayside and for no good reason. You can see in a lot of Pokemon Journeys where things just drastically take a turn. Lucario is one of them, because Riolu gets great development as a Riolu. It gets great development going up against Grapploct, going up against all these opponents, learning how to hone its aura, learning how to hone its battle skills. And then the evolution into Lucario is great. I think it is well deserved given all the training it had, given the moment that it evolved. It is a very good moment of evolution. But then you get to Season 2. You get to Season 2 of Pokemon Journeys, and things kind of fall off. Lucario is really just there for battling. It loses all the charm and kind of personality it had as a Riolu. It's really just there for battling and progressing Ash through the PWC. It's a battle tool. It's literally just there to clutch wins. And that does not make a good ace, that does not make a good Pokemon, and that does not make a good story. And that's the big issue with Lucario, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with that. But let's focus on, as today's podcast episode suggests, let's focus on Mega Lucario and its Mega Evolution form. That wasn't earned. That wasn't earned at all. If you compare how Ash got Mega Evolution versus how Karina got Mega Evolution back in X and Y, Karina had to go through a whole 5-episode arc to control Aura and control Mega Evolution with her own Lucario. Ash does this in 1 or 2 episodes. And all he has to do is go through this weird gauntlet of fighting like other Pokemon that can Mega Evolve or fighting other Mega Evolved Pokemon. He goes through this trial on Mega Evolution Island, and then he battles Gherkin, but does he really? Like, I remember watching that episode, and while the outcome was great, the outcome was excellent, did it feel earned? No. And my friend Zach would agree with this. And it's just rushed writing. It's prioritizing the outcome over the path that you took to get there. You know, it's kind of like saying the ends justify the means, but in this case they don't. We love the ending that we got. Okay, great. Ash can now Mega Evolve. Cool. But what did you do to get there? You sacrificed character development to get there. You sacrificed plausible and great character growth to get there. You sacrificed a good story to get there. And that's my issue with, Mega Evolution, because now they're just pushing Lucario further and forcing it, because now Lucario, with this power of Mega Evolution, now all the battles kind of ride on Mega Lucario, or even base form Lucario. In my smoothie, I'd recommend you guys buy Bull House Farm smoothie. It's really good, really good. Oh, that hits the spot. But let's continue with Mega Lucario. My main issue with it is that now that Lucario can Mega Evolve, what they did was they prioritized spectacle over narrative. Spectacle over narrative. And that can also be a title that sums up Pokemon journeys. And why do I feel that way? Because it's true. You see it with so many battles. You see it especially with Round 3 of Ash vs. B in Stowan side. You see that on full display, because we get down to Gigantamax Machamp versus Mega Lucario. And for some reason, Mega Lucario, without using any sort of move to defend itself, without Ash telling it to activate its powers of Aura, it just stands there and tanks full force G-Max Machamp's G-Max Cheese Strike. Why? Why is it able to do that? It literally just tanks the attack, jumps back up like it did no damage, and it's because they need Ash to win. They need Ash to win. They want Ash to win. Ash has to get to the finals of the PWC. But that's not how you do it. That's not how you progress the story further. If anything, Ash should have lost the battle. If anything, Lucario should have taken immense damage. If anything, maybe it should have been a tie. And it's just that they rushed the battles. They want Ash to win. They want to glorify Ash, but they don't want to put in the work for him to earn it. They don't want to put in the work for this to feel deserved and to feel earned. And that's the problem with Pokemon Journeys and with Mega Lucario. Again, they want us to feel like we have all this history with Lucario, that it can tank these hits, that it can be this overpowered beast of a Pokemon. But what are the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites? Because it has Aura? Because it has Mega Evolution? It's baseline. It's baseline. We saw that with Karina, once she even got Mega Evolution, she had to learn how to control it. Ash never really had to do that. And because of this, it makes Mega Lucario look like a weak Mega. And I know that's kind of oxymoronic, and I know that's kind of backwards, but Mega Lucario looks like a weak Mega, because it's surrounded by plot armor. And yes, it does undergo training with Ash's Greninja to get stronger, hone its aura, unlock the ability to use the giant aura sphere. But without that training, would Mega Lucario be as strong as it is? Would Mega Lucario be able to accomplish the feats that it did? And part of me thinks no, because Ash never went under. It never partook in that, rigorous training to control and master Mega Evolution. It was just, here's your Mega Glove, here's your Mega Stone and your Keystone. You can Mega Evolve now, so have at it. Go ahead and win all your battles. Go ahead and win the PWC. And don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy the bond between Ash and Lucario. I really do enjoy the depth that we got with Ash and Riolu, but honestly, I think that's where it peaked. Yes, they display that they still have a strong bond, that they're still working hard to train, get stronger, be the best that they can be. But when you are basically being serviced to the plot, or the plot is being serviced to you, catering to you so that you can win the battles that you need to win, it does not make a good Pokemon story. It does not give this Pokemon the development that it needs. And again, I think Mega Lucario is a great ace. I think it's a great Pokemon. It's just very underwhelming. It does not live up to its full potential. It does not live up to the story that it could have had. There's just so much more they could have done. And Mega Lucario is just a prime example of how Pokemon Journeys squandered its potential. How Pokemon Journeys wasted the potential that it had. And unfortunately, the story of Ash and Lucario suffered for that. You know, I think it's great. I think Mega Lucario gave us some of the best battles in the Pokemon anime, some of the best in journeys when it was involved. It's just that, beyond that, it's just spectacle. Mega Lucario is there for the ooh and ah effect that we get when it's on screen. It's there just so Ash can have a Mega. And Lucario is the one that lacks the substance. Riolu does not. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So people are gonna say that, oh, he's hating on Lucario, well, he's hating on Riolu too, the whole thing, the whole story. No. Let me distinguish. I need to catch this. I need to catch this. Riolu is the one that had the development, had the substance, had the depth, had the bond, had the training, had the progress, the good progress. Riolu is the one that earned all that. Lucario is the one that was, you know, over-favored. It was the one that was catered to, the one that was pampered, the one that was just handed things. Don't get it twisted. Riolu and Lucario essentially feel like they may not be the same Pokemon because of how they were treated so differently. And you can look at the story. You can look up every single episode of Pokemon Journeys. I'm not making this up. Yes, it's my opinion. But you can look at how these episodes are written and structured. And if you don't agree, that's fine. I invite you to disagree with me in the comments. I invite you to voice your opinion. I would love to hear what you have to say about Lucario. But it kind of feels like there is a disconnect between the Riolu stage and the Lucario stage. One put in the work, put in the effort, and one just sat there and waited for things to be handed to him. And all in all, that is the greatest problem with Ash and Mega Lucario. With that said, those are my thoughts on all of the potential Mega Evolutions that Ash Ketchum could own. That is my ranking. I'm pretty confident in the results that I gave. I do believe Mega Charizard X is the best, followed by Hawlucha, Staraptor, Lucario, etc. Not too many of them are bad. Most of them fall in that A and B tier, most of them being an A and S. And let me know which ones are your favorites. Which ones have you used? Which ones are you loving recently? Let me know down below. I stick by this list. Maybe it'll change. Maybe in time I'll have different opinions on them. But for now, this is where all of Ash's potential Mega Evolutions sit with me. He's got some great candidates, some not so much. But these are my thoughts on all the Mega Evolutions. Until next time, Pokemon Champions, thank you for watching, thank you to our channel members, and until next time, train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.